right, here we go. So, of course, since you see right there, it shows who won the coin toss. Basically, my opponent gets to choose to go first. So that means that this is the new update. And watch how I cook with this particular deck. Now, my opponent, like this engine, this Horus engine is like so good because your opponents don't really know what to fucking do. And even if they do know what to do, they don't really want to stop this shit. They don't want to stop it because they don't, like, to them, they know you're baiting them out. Even if they played this shit before, they don't know what the fuck to do. This is kind of like, so I'm gonna let him just make his plays. This is kind of like when they first brought out the Diabell Star, and like even now, like people don't really negate the Diabell Star plays because they don't know what the fuck to do. Like they don't know what deck you're playing when they see Diabell Star, so they don't stop it. They don't know what to do. They have no point of understanding what deck you're playing when they see Diabell Star. They just know you're playing that shit. So they don't know if it's Snake Eyes, if it's Dark Magician. They don't know if it's branded. They don't know if it's Thunder Dragons. They have zero fucking idea. It's the same thing with this shit. This is this is gonna be the new thing where when they see this, they have no fucking idea what you're doing. So they don't know if they need to stop King Sarcophagus. They don't know if you got a second one. They don't even half the time some people can't even stop this shit. If they don't have an imperm and you set this shit in that column, how do they stop this? How do people stop this? Now, of course, they can have a negate board and it can end up stopping it, but check this out. Just watch the interaction of how I play this, right? So I start off King Sarcophagus right here. Boom. Send Fairy Tale Snow. Does he know what deck I'm playing? Bro, I send King of the Swamp. Does he know what deck I'm playing? Those are two cards that you really don't fucking know. This could be branded. Both of those cards can be played in branded. Do they know? I would assume tier limits if I was him, but does he know? Now watch what I do. Boom. Summons two bodies out. Look, he couldn't even react to this shit. He had no fucking clue what I was doing. Couldn't even react to that shit. He sees it hit the field, and then boom, he triggers this card's effect right here, right off special summon, right? The card hits the field first. So he couldn't negate it with Spright Red. He couldn't stop me from summoning because there's nothing that shows that I'm going to summon. It just happens. So he couldn't actually negate the summon of this with Spright Red because it didn't trigger this or anything. It just happens, right? Boom. So then he starts popping off plays. He does a bunch of shit that does nothing. And I'm going to show you. Boom. Summons out a couple bodies right here. Boom. Summons another body. Boom. Pops that card that's on the field. And look. Basically, this card right here, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, summon out more monsters. So he put more bodies out just to get this card to pop that card, right? Boom. Did a bunch of nothing. So now he's making more plays. Summons another body out. Swaps that one out for something else. Or he doesn't even swap it, he just takes it off the field. Boom. So I summon my other one, go right into zombie vampire. I'm holding this and using just the Horus engine with dead cards that are in my hand to simply bait out all of his interaction, and he's falling for it. I was trying to get him to activate Spright Red right here, but he never did. So I go Zombie Vampire, and before I activate Zombie Vampire's effect, boom, crash into Spright Red just like that. Then we are going to activate the Zombie Vampire's effect, and because he waited so late to activate Sprite Elf, I was able to get the zombie vampire in before, because he has no fucking idea what I'm doing. He has no earthly idea what I'm doing. So zombie vampire before he can get the Sprite Elf. So by the time this comes back, he can only react to what hits the graveyard. So boom, I go ahead and mill, and I just summon back Supreme Sea Mare without even having to normal out my Rhino Heart. And then he activates Ash Blossom to then stop the Supreme Sea Mare. So I am now starting to get him to use his hand traps. He's used most of his field stuff. He still has a Spright Red negate, but we're not worried about that right now. We're going to activate Trivy Karma right here. Just like that, we're going to grab Perlareno right here. Boom. Summon out that field spell. Grab Sheeran. And then this is where it gets interesting. He knows I'm playing tier limits for sure now, right? He's already made a bunch of stops. He can't ash me anymore. He's already used his ash. He's already done so much shit. What can he possibly do? All he really has now is this Spright Red negate and probably like some effect veilers if he does, or whatever. It doesn't really matter. He's probably got Nibiru. Who cares what he has, right? Doesn't really matter. It's what he's gonna play. Now, in my graveyard, I already have Deck Devastation Virus. Look at the attack of everything that's on his side of the field except this one. This is the only one with 2,000 or more. So what I'm doing is something that he's not even thinking about, that I know his dumbass cannot stop because he put Spright Red out. And he had no intention of getting a carrot onto the field. No intention of getting carried onto the field. His dumbass only focused on red, just monster negates. So boom. We got Deck Devastation Virus. Now, let's read what this card does. Tribute 1 dark, 2,000 or more. Attack, boom, doesn't really matter. Look at your opponent's hand, all monsters they control, and all cards they draw until the end of the 3rd turn. After this card's activation, destroy all of those monsters with 1,500 or less attack. That's a lot of shit for sprites, bro. Can sprites recover from some shit like this? Let's find out. All I gotta do is mill 1 transaction rollback. So that's the win condition. Boom. And there it is. Just like that. It is a G fucking G. Watch this shit. At this point, I'm just trying to just see if I can get him, just to see what his limit is. He didn't activate the red when I activated Sheeran, which is fine by me. It was just a bait. I still haven't even normal summoned yet. So if he would have negated it, I would have just normaled out that tier limit Rhino Heart. Boom, just like that, right? So here we go. Look at that. Popped everything in his hand and field. And all he has is that 1 card now. Look at that shit, bro. Clean. Clean. And then, of course, since I triggered a fusion summon, that also triggers my field spell to pop, my boy. You feel me? So, of course, it is a GG's for my boy. There we go. Having this right there. Trigger the fusion summon. And then I can pop this last and final card. Bro, where you going? Come back.